28 days to lose 20 pounds. Can a regular guy really lose this much weight in 4 weeks? Join me in my journey to see if it's possible. Weeks 1 through weeks 4, exercise and food diaries have been added. Audio walkthrough has been updated. My weight loss challenge. Join me in my journey aiming to lose 28 pounds in just 20 days. I've got 3 simple steps. 1. Exercise. I locked. 2. Eat on a regular basis, but reduce the calorie intake. 3. Rest. That's it. No gym, no products on sale, no sales pitch, no magic diet pills. Brief introduction about myself. I'm a regular male, 5'10", full-time employed, a dad of 2 kids. My last weigh-in on the 12th of July was over 99 kilograms, 218.3 pounds to be exact. Enough was enough, so I sat down and worked out how much weight I thought I could attempt to lose in 4 weeks, around my job and without buying expensive equipment or going near a gym. My week 1 starting weight was 218.3 pounds. If you don't believe me, there's a picture. Why did I weigh this much? No excuses, I ballooned to this size as I wasn't taking notice of the calories I was consuming on a daily basis. I enjoyed convenience snacks in my daily 4-hour travel back and forward to work. I didn't exercise anywhere near enough for the weight I thought I was, never mind the actual weight I weighed. I kept putting off exercising and I wasn't getting enough rest. Before I started, I fully planned ahead. What did I put in my plan? Well, what I know is to lose 1 pound of fat, you require a 3,500 calorie deficit. Normally to lose a pound a week would be a 500 calorie deficit per day times 7 days equals 3,500 calories reduction, which is equating to a pound of weight loss in 1 week. Therefore, to get to 5 pounds in 1 week, it's going to take 5 times the effort, which means my target is huge. I know it is. So therefore, exercise is going to be pivotal here. Huge increase required. Again, no gym and no fancy equipment. Calorie food intake reduction. This is going to be crucial. And of course, getting just over 8 hours sleep a day is going to be fundamental to what I get. The 3 steps and math behind what my goal was, so actually the science behind it is if I set a calorie burning deficit of 1250 calories a day, reduce my food intake by 20%. So instead of consuming 2,500 calories, if I reduce that down to 2,000 calories, this should give me a slight reduction. And adding into that, step 3, 8 hours and 50 minutes sleep. For a guy my size, this should burn 750 calories per night. So if you go ahead and add in items 1 and 2, which is 1,250 plus 750, that gives you 2,000 calories burned, along with a 500 calorie food deficit. Should give me a 2,500 daily deficit. If I multiply that by 28 days, that should give me a total of 70,000 calories across a 4-week period. Divide that by 3,500 calories to burn 1 pound, should tell me that should give me a total of 20 pounds in 28 days. Everyone out there should be aware, I'm not a medical or nutritional expert. These are my plans based on what I know my body can handle. My weight target is exactly what I weighed 12 months ago, so it's realistic for me to reach that weight again. Anyone else thinking about this should seek medical advice if they want to add or reduce weight or go on an exercise plan. So my 4-week plan, my week 1 target is to reduce it by 5 pounds, so that would take it from 218.3 down to 213.3 pounds. Week 2, again, 5 pounds less is 208.3 pounds, giving me a 10 pound rolling reduction, 5 pound week on week. Week 3, 203.3, again 5 pounds less than the week before. Week 4, if I get there, it is 208. Week 4 target should actually be 198. Fucking bastard, fucking bastard, fucking bastard, fuck. Swear to fucking God of fucking mighty. Fuck you, you fucking son of a bitch, motherfucker. How the fuck can I miss that? Swear to fucking God almighty, they my fucking tits in. Week 4 target is going to be 198.3 pounds, which is giving me a £20 rolling reduction and a £5 week to week. Now, it might happen that, and it's probably likely to happen, at week 1 to week 2 is my biggest loss. But let's see what happens. My 4-week plan. Week 1, to reduce my weight from 218.3 down to 213.3, giving me a £5 reduction. The following week, week 2, giving me 208.3 pounds, which is a £10 rolling reduction and a £5 week on week. Week 3, my target is 203.3, which should give me a £15 rolling reduction, £5 week on week again. And the final week, the exact same. Week 4, my target would be 198.3 pounds, which would give me a £20 rolling reduction and £20 loss in 28 days. The key factors here are going to be checking calorie burned each day. A small miss in my target daily will have a major dent on my progress. Calibration. It's okay for a magazine or journal to say that calories burned doing X, Y, and Z will be a certain value. So I'm going to put a lot of faith in my phone pedometer. It may be inaccurate, but this was going to give me a consistent baseline and reference point. Checking my calorie intake, keeping a perfect diary of food consumed on a daily basis is a huge step in achieving the target. There's no point in me sneaking a biscuit or a chocolate bar or a packet of crisps. I need to be 100% accurate with my recording. Rest, accurately recording rest is another huge activity trying to achieve my target. Week 1 should show the most weight loss, so I'm hoping to lose just over 5 pounds in the first week and increase exercise burned if I fail to hit that target. What do I need before I start? A mobile phone with an internal pedometer, a free exercise and diary app. I personally use Google Fit for exercise and Samsung Health for food diary. You can use anything else. To put the plan into action. Week 1. Week 1 plan calorie schedule. Now, this is basically a Wednesday night I decide I'm going to lose weight for 20 days. So starting on Thursday the 9th of July, this was my food diary and my calorie schedule. Week 1 planned calorie schedule. So you'll see here you've got Thursday through Wednesday, from the 9th of July right through to the 15th of July. And they're very simple. I've left this empty boxes here for a reason. Didn't want to give you too much data at one time. But this is the diary I use every single day since I started this. So my target step count is simple. It's 15,000 steps per day. My target exercise burned is going to be 1,250 calories a day. My target calorie intake reduction, as I said before, is going to be 500 calories less. So I'm going to try and eat 2,000 instead of 2,500, giving me a 500 calorie deficit a day. My target daily sleep pattern is meant to be 750 loss because that's meant to be 8 hours and 50 minutes sleep. So if you add these three figures, 1, 2 and 3, these three figures, I should have a perfect amount of 2,500 a day across 7 days a week. This should give me a total calorie deficit of 17,500, which is the magical number which should give me exactly £5. I know if I keep a very accurate diary and I make sure that I hit my target steps, I manage to hit each target, all three, between exercise burned, calorie reduction and sleep, and I hit this target every day, then I should definitely hit my first target. That was the plan. Here's the actual. So you'll see that week 1, I filled in my steps. So you'll see that in every single day of the week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I hit my step count. Wednesday is a poor day for me because I have a busy work schedule normally on a Wednesday. I normally have lots of meetings and lots of things to take home. It's an early start and a very, very late finish, so Wednesday is going to be my poor day for exercise. Going forward, I'm going to try and improve that, but there's not much I can do around work for that. So let's see what happens here, what is going on. So the first day I've hit my step count and I've also added in to try and achieve my 1250 calories burned, I've added in a lot of stair climbing, stair walking. So for a man my size, the time I spend going up and down the stairs and the calories burned, I'm using my pedometer. It's got a stair counting facility and it says that's how much calories that I've burned on that day. What I'll do is I'll actually show you a detailed day, or basically a token day, which is one here on Tuesday, to show you how I've came about these exact amounts. So you'll see that on a daily basis, my target loss was meant to be burned was 1250 for each day. The first day was 1215, so just slightly less. The second day was 1307, slightly more, slightly less, slightly less, slightly less, slightly less, and the third day quite a bit less. My calorie intake for the first day was meant to be 500, is actually over. Stepped on this and managed to miss it by 290, 267, nearly 200 again. So my calorie deficit is actually higher than it should be. So I've actually overshot on my calories deficit. So this is actually basically not quite starvation mode, but I should be consuming a lot more calories. I only plan to reduce it by 3,500 and I'm actually nearly at 6,000. I need to majorly change that for week 2. My target sleep is meant to be 8 hours and 50 minutes a day. It's not happened the first week. The closest I got was on the Saturday and the Sunday, but the other days a week I'm closer to 5-6 hours. But if you add in my actual for 1, 2 and 3, you will see that my target daily deficit of 2,500 is very, very close. First day I'm just over, second day just over, third day just over, fourth day over again, fifth day, sixth day, and the last day is slightly under. So in the course of the whole week, 7 days, I was hoping to have a calorie deficit of 17,500 calories, and I calculated it as being 17,871. That should equate to a direct weight loss. However, with loading with water as well, then this might be slightly different. But how did I manage to fill that diary in? What kind of things am I doing? These are just numbers on the screen. I'm going to show you my workout for stair climb in detail. So here you'll see I've got my step climb is shown as being 414 calories burned, which is the figure that I put in the table. Now this was me recording my step climbs across the course of a day. There was 8 different step climbs, if you like, some as low as 1 minute, some up to 10 minutes. But in the course of the day I managed to burn basically 414 calories across a 41 minute, 43 second period. So what does this mean? This means that on my pedometer, my first morning session was 10 minutes and 45 seconds, which is here. And there's a second function behind this, which ties in exactly how many calories it burned. Same for climb 5 and same for climb 6. So this goes to show that I'm not trying to lie or come up with a different outcome or just filling the table for the sake of it. This is me trying to accurately record my stair climbing episode. Week 1, how did I fill that in? Basically, I can show you how I've filled in some of the diary. This is the stair climbing specific part. Over the course of a day, I managed to make 8 stair climbs, which totaled 41 minutes and 43 seconds. I've only got a few steps at home, so that's not going to be much use, so I'm going to use what I can in public at work. So I've managed to squeeze in 41 minutes and 43 seconds of activity, which has burned 414 calories. That's how I managed to use that figure here. Now, how did I manage to do that? Well, my pedometer on my app tells me how many steps I did, how long I was walking for, and if you click on this again inside the app, it will tell you how many calories you burned. So that was equating to climb 1. Third second snapshot is for climb 5, which is 5 minutes and 39 seconds, which is there, and the sixth one is 5 minutes and 47 seconds for basic climb 6. This is just showing you where I got the information from. I put it into a table format for all 8 sections I've did that day, and that's how I filled in the first section. For the actual step count, it's simple. It's simple on my pedometer, so that's the actual steps I've taken. The time up and down stairs is here. The calories burned is I've got from the table. Calorie intake reduction is simply from food diary, which I'll explain next. So as we just explained, the calorie food diary, I wanted to have so going into the target calorie reduction in more detail, you'll see that originally I set out meal should normally consume 2,500 calories. So to assist in my losing weight, I wanted to hit the target closer to 2,000 calories, which would have given me a 500 calorie deficit per day. I kept an accurate food diary, which this is part of my Samsung Health, which for each day of the week it tells me what I've had for breakfast, lunch, dinner, morning snack, afternoon, evening snack, and this is exactly as per the label, or as per the pack, or as per the instructions, or as I've had to do a couple of times when I work in the health centre to actually ask the chef what's in the ingredients, what's the weights. Thinks I'm a bit crazy, but yeah. So how did I get this amount on the table? How did I manage to know this was 947? Well, basically my 2,500 calories I meant to consume, minus the 1,553 I did consume, told me I had a 947 calorie deficit. So that's how I managed to get from the second column on the table. So that you've seen from the previous one that I was much closer to keeping my target intake as closer to the 500 figure as possible. But by the time it got to week 6 and day 6 and day 7, I was much further away, almost double the target, which is not a good thing. It gave me a false sense of losing weight because I'm just not eating enough. So I need to, for week 2, get closer to the 500 target as possible. So my week 1 starting weight was 218.3 pounds. And finally, when I got on the scales, my end weight was 212.9 pounds, meaning that I'd lost 5.4 pounds in the first week. The review of that was I was close to hitting my calorie burns each day. I missed it in a few days, but the overall I was close to it. But between my calorie burn through exercise, my target calorie reduction for food, and my sleep, I somehow managed to get over my weekly target. So I knew in my own heart before I stood in the scales that I would be close to the weight and I should actually lose just more than 5 pounds. 5.4 is good because I think that week 1 is going to be higher than week 2, so hopefully I can still get to my week 1 target. So as I said, I hit my target, which is a positive. I missed my target exercise by 700 calories, so I need to improve on this next week, or I'll miss next week's week 3's target and all future targets. Stair climbing was a massive part of my target. This will play a bigger role week 2. I overreached in calorie intake reduction. I really need to hit this as close to my target as possible. Week target for week 1 target is complete. Week 1 target is complete. Week 2 target started. Results pending. Week 2. Week 2 planned calorie schedule. This is exactly the same as week 1. It's exactly the same layout. The only difference this time is I want to make sure that my actual is as close to the target as possible. For 1, for my calories burned, 2, for my calorie intake reduction, and 3, my sleep. If the closer I can get to these to the targets, the more likely this will be a consistent approach and my weight loss should be gradual. My week 2 actual calorie schedule. As you can see here, for week 2, my actual step count was a little bit inconsistent this week. overall, I wasn't far away from a weekly target, but again, I was down on the actual steps. The kilometres walked is getting up there. It's at 67 kilometres almost for the full week, which is about 41 miles. The time up and down the stairs, this is where I've done most of my calorie burning in the shortest period of time, was via doing step count up through stairs. Let's look at week 2 actual calorie schedule. You'll see that on week 2 I started off with my actual step count closer to my target on the first day. Let's stick with day 1. My calorie burned for stairs was 592, so my first day I managed to hit my target, well over my target. I was much closer and much happier on day 1 with my calorie intake reduction. I was still slightly over by 63 calories, as in my reduction was too much. I still should have been ate another 63 calories that one day, but it was much closer to the 500 target than it's been. Week 1 that was closer to 1,000. I still only managed to get 6 hours sleep that night, so I didn't get as much rest as I thought it would be, or tried to get. So my overall for that one day, even though that I'd hit my actual steps and I managed to do close to my calorie intake, I was just over my calorie deficit for that day of 2,500. Days 2, 3, 4 and 5 is start again to the week. I had a little bit up and down. I had lots more time to go up and down stairs this week. It was a big focus point. However, my bad day was Wednesday, which is weighing day, of course it is. Again, as I said in week 1, this is my busy day at work. This is my long day at work. So I've loads of meetings, lots of time on sitting down. I'm not moving in conference calls, so I don't have much chance to do between different meetings. So this is the crux of where my downfall is going to be for week 2. We'll go into more detail there. So you'll see that basically right now, this one day of massively missing my target is going to impact my overall output for week 2. So week 2 workout 1 day review in detail. As we just focus on that, the one day I wanted to focus more on is basically the last day of the week, the 7th day. My target step count for the 7th day was 15,000 steps, and I only managed to do 8,600. My time up and downstairs for most of the rest of the week was about 55 minutes to an hour. On that day I only managed 60 minutes. So my total calories burned was again below the target. It was set at 1250. I only managed to achieve 750. My calorie intake reduction I was happy with. I managed to keep my food because I was sitting down. I could plan things out more. I had a lot more time to do snacks, so I was actually very close to hitting my 500 target. I'm happy about this. But of course, what this means is because I've missed my burn target. I've hit this one, but I've also missed my sleep target as well. It means that for the whole day, I'm way under my whole target for the week. So I'm 775 down for that one day. And there's a couple of other days that was less. So for the whole week, I've missed my target. As you can see, I missed my step count overall for the week. I missed my target exercise burned for the whole week. I did manage to make a better improvement than the week previously, where I was almost double my calorie intake reduction, so I'm much closer to my daily target. So that's a positive. I'm getting closer. I still want that to be closer to 3,500. But 4,454 is much closer than last week. I'm just not getting enough sleep still. It's better than week 1, but I'm still under my target. So instead of hitting my weekly total gross for being 17,500, I only managed 16,669. 666 being in there doesn't bode well. Such high weight loss targets missing just one day leads to a massive impact on the weekly total. The weekly target of 17,500 meaning I had a total calorie deficit for the whole week of 831 calories, meaning £5 simply won't be possible this week. But week 2 loss still should be high, as in it should be between £4.5 to £4.9. To keep track on week 3, I really need to hit every kilometre target. I need to hit every burned calorie target without fail. I also need to try and hit every sleep target. Week 3 is now the crux because judging by week 2, even though I'm just slightly under for one day, it brought down the whole week average massively. So week 2 start weight was 212.9 pounds. End weight was 208.3 pounds. This means that week 1 to week 2 had a weight loss of only 4.6 pounds, but I had a total weight loss of exactly 10 pounds. My starting weight was 218.3. So let's review the week to see what went wrong. So my week on week, I missed my £5 weight loss. It was only 4.6, but because I had actually managed to get 5.4 week 1, then that still gave me an overall 2-week rolling average of £5 a week, or £10 overall. So this is a positive. I missed my target exercise for the second week in a row. I really need to step up and increase my daily exercise burned. Actual calories is a must for week 3. Stair climbing again was massive for week 2, and it's a massive part of the overall progress. I need to continue this as it is, on the same level or increase if possible. I'm very close on the calorie intake reduction in week 2. This is far closer than I was in week 1, and I'm hoping that week 3 to be close to that 500 or even beyond. I'm starting to do a lot more calorie burning and upstairs, therefore I can afford to take on more food, which means this is more sustainable. Week 3. Let's have a look at the week 3 planned calorie schedule. This week you'll see that the daily step count is still 15,000. The end of the week it should hopefully be 105,000. My target exercise burn is still 1250. My calorie intake reduction is still at 500, so I'm still allowed to consume 2000 calories a day. And I should hopefully still get 8 hours and 15 minutes sleep. The big difference this week, as you can see here with the green arrow, is that I plan to burn more calories during my stair climb in the same period of time. Now the reason and the method behind that is I'm going to change it to jogging pace for 75% of the time. This will allow me to burn more calories in the same time frame. Basically I'm running out of hours of the day to do something, so I can still squeeze in the same amount of exercise and get a higher output by changing the intensity. That's the theory. So there's nothing much else has changed apart from the intensity of the stair climb. Let's have a look at the week 3 actual calorie schedule. You'll see here that the step count every day. I managed to, for the first week, achieve my step count every single day. So my 105,000 step count for the week is actually up to 117,409. My time going up and down the stairs every day has been religious. It's over an hour a day minimum, and this time because of increased intensity, the amount of calories I burned has increased quite dramatically, and I've managed to achieve every single day my calorie burned. So everything here from the step count, calories burned is all green. If you look further down the list, you'll see that my target sleep of 8 hours 50 minutes is just not happening. And this is the third week in a row that I've missed my sleep pattern and the calories burned for there. So I'm meant to get 5,250 calories and I've only managed to burn 4,141. Now this is bringing down my average every day, so what I'm going to have to do for week 4 is change this to be more realistic. I can't squeeze any more sleep. I'm very close in a couple of days to achieving it, but 8 hours 50 minutes on average is just not going to happen for me. So for week 4 I need to make this as realistic as possible. I need to change this to be more reflective. As you can see here, my daily average is 7 hours, so I need to make next week, week 4, target of 7 hours sleep. This will give me an actual sleep burning reduction, but it'll make it more realistic. I'll have to then make up for this reduction between my calorie intake reduction and my exercise burned being increased. So on the whole, for this week, I'm happy that I'm very close to my target. I'm a little bit too close for comfort. I'm at 17,862 as opposed to 17,500, so I'm close, I should be just over £5, but I'd like that figure to be higher. The big thing that let me down this week was my sleep. Let's have a look. Week 3 start weight was £208.3 and my finish weight was £203.2. So I just came under this week of my £5 loss. I managed to lose just over £5.1. That's given me a total loss from week 1 to week 3 of £15.1 in 21 days. Week 4. Week 4 planned calorie schedule. This one's going to change from week 3. I'm still going to keep my, as you can see with the green arrow, my increased calorie deficit from stair burning by increasing intensity to jogging pace for 75%. I've also increased the target step count to 17,500. This should give me a total exercise burn target of 1,450 per day. I've changed my sleep to 637 calories per day, which is equivalent of 7 hours, which is more realistic. That's what I normally get. And my calorie reduction has been reduced slightly. It doesn't seem much, but 2,087 calories is what I'm allowed to eat per day. And again, that should still give me a total for the entire day of 2,500. So my weekly goal stays the same, but the breakdown between 1, 2 and 3, for me, I think it's more realistic. I should be able to increase my step count. I should be able to slightly change my food, and this should be a lot more accurate. So I'm hoping that this gives me a more accurate and more realistic chance of hitting my daily goal, which in the course of the week should give me a fairer chance to hit my target for week 4. This is probably the toughest week because my body's now getting used to the exercises, and it's just the 4th and final week of the schedule. We have a look at each day. You'll see that I managed to achieve my 17,500 steps, even though that has been increased on most days. There's a couple of days I've been slightly down, but because I managed to smash my target on Thursday, and every other day I've managed to add to that target, then been slightly under on the Sunday and Wednesday, then my target for the whole week is still up. So even though I've increased this target to 122,500, I actually managed to achieve 140,000 steps that week. I've also managed to increase my stair climb as well as keeping the intensity up to 75%. I've also managed to increase the time. I've been very conscientious this week that I've missed my sleep pattern and everything else, so I wanted to make sure that I had no excuses to hit my target this week. So my target burn on a daily basis has been close to, if not an exceeding target for most days. On the Sunday, I managed to miss it slightly, but for most other days, I've managed to be well over, especially on the Thursday. My calorie intake reduction has been so close to its target, it's great. And for the first time ever, I've been just under my calories, so I consume more calories that day, but it's only 3, so it's not much to talk about. You'll see that my calorie intake reduction target for that week was 2,891, and my actual was 2,930, so across the entire week I was within 40 calories of my target, and I managed to just hit that one. Normally the worst thing it's been over the last 3 weeks is missing my daily sleep pattern, and this was the biggest change here. Now you'll see that for 5 out of the 7 days I managed to hit my target, and for the first time ever, my weekly target, even though I was down on my Tuesday and Wednesday, is my rolling average for the week was higher, so I've actually achieved more sleep than I targeted, so I managed to burn slightly more calories. This means for the first time ever, by having greens across all columns for a few days of the week, there's the odd exception, but not by much, then my total calories burned for week 4 was 19,461. This puts me in a huge position to be able to achieve with confidence before I step in the scales that I should be much closer to my target. That should equate to about £5.5. So let's see what happens. So let's look at week 4 workout 1 day review in detail. Let's look at the Thursday. The Thursday I managed to increase my step count quite a bit. This is because I knew in advance that the Sunday and Saturday had celebrations and the following Wednesday, so I knew my target count for Saturday, Sunday and Wednesday might not be that good. So I managed to do this by spending longer time on the stairs. I spent an hour and 43 minutes, which is the longest I've ever spent doing stairs. I've also managed to keep my intensity up at 75%. So between my miles walked, my step count, calories burned, between that and my stair count, I've managed to smash my daily target of 1450 calories to 2241. That means I can offset it to some of my days it's not going to be so good. I managed to get my calorie reduction within 20 calories. So again, I'm just eating over 2000 calories a day, which means I'm not in starvation mode. My body's getting used to it and I'm doing more exercise, so I need that food. And for the first time ever, I hit my sleep count for 5 days of the week. I think it's 5 days a week. So the combination of having 3 greens, for 1, 2 and 3, means that my daily target and my actual is green. So what does that mean? How did I get to those figures? Surely I could have just made this up and I could have made it look like I've hit my target and just starve myself or do something else. Let's have a look at how I got to the details in this plan. If you look at here the Thursday morning, this is my daily activity schedule from Google Fit. And you'll see here that on the Thursday 30th of July, which is here, that my first morning step climb was 46 minutes and 58 seconds. My second one was 31 minutes and 19 seconds. Moving throughout the day, we get to a smaller target of 6 minutes 42. One stair climb is 4 minutes 56. And my final one in the evening was 13 minutes and 29 seconds. The reason that's important, if you add them together, you'll recognise them all from the previous screen. That gives me a total throughout the day of another 43 minutes and 24 seconds. So that's where that figure came from. And my total calorie burned for the stairs only is 1024. The whole purpose of this and me being transparent and honest and showing you this is that the more accurate you can keep your diary, the less disappointed you're going to be with the outcome. The more honest you are with your food, your diary, your sleep, and being aware of it, then the more likely you are to achieve your target and goals. Again, for transparency, if you look at Thursday, my overall step count and take is shown there. Friday, I'm at 11.67 kilometers, 12.42 for the Saturday. Sunday, I'm down to 10.27. The Monday, I'm up at 11.6. Tuesday, I'm up at 14.67, and I'm over 15,132 steps. The reason why, again, I'm showing you this is all being transparent. These are all the details you'll find in the previous workout sheet. And that means that I'm being honest with myself, then I should be far more likely to achieve my targets. And if I don't achieve my targets, then I'll know exactly which areas I need to improve on. So let's look at week 4. My start weight was 203.2. I know through my exercise recording, and I've been as truthful as possible with my diary, that I should hopefully smash my target this week. My end weight was 197.4. So I managed to this week alone lose the most amount of any other week, which is 5.8 pounds, which gave me a total weight loss of 20.9 pounds in just 28 days. So the answer is yes, a regular guy can lose 20 pounds in 4 weeks. My start weight was 218.3 and my end weight was 197.4. That gave me a total weight loss of 20.9 pounds in just 28 days. Thanks for joining me in this journey. If this in any way, shape or form helped you or inspired you, then please hit the subscribe button. Thanks very much.